As we look at the forecast ahead, we are tracking some unseasonable warmth, and we're going to be rivaling record highs actually as we look at the coming days. It's going to be exceptionally warm around here as we bump into the mid 80s range, and even a little bit of a setback Friday, but still above average and spiking back into the 80s this weekend. So this warmth seems relentless for us. The winds have been very strong, with the winds subsiding tonight. Advisories expired this evening. Unusually warm, as we mentioned. We will be rivaling records this week, and then we're tracking the potential for some stormy weather. And in particular, Thursday, there's a powerful system that will be driving into the region, and we'll be discussing that. As we look at the rest of tonight's forecast and into tomorrow morning, pretty quiet. Again, not as windy. We do have temperatures down into the mid 50s before we start to warm back up, and it's going to be warming quite quickly. Our low temperatures coming in above the average, but look at our highs just within 4 degrees of the record of 84 set back in 1981. So yeah, very, very warm temperatures, a theme that does continue in the coming days. Showers and thunderstorms quite limited though for our Tuesday. We don't see a whole lot going on here. We're keeping plenty of sunshine in place actually, as fair weather will be a continued theme for us. We'll start to see a bit more cloud cover building in here as we look at our outlook for our Wednesday, and then eventually later in the day, Wednesday into the evening, we'll start to see some showers and rumbles, and the potential for some of these to get strong given the warm and moist environment that we'll be under. It won't take much for maybe a strong thunderstorm to flare up, so we're going to watch for that. But just isolated severe opportunities at this point. It looks more interesting by Thursday as we see a new disturbance emerging out of the west, and this frontal boundary serving as a conveyor belt for this next system. In fact, as we look at the severe weather maker in the upper levels of the atmosphere, we can see this as we put this into motion coming out of the west, tracking into the mid-Mississippi Valley. And that's what's going to be generating rounds of strong thunderstorms for the lower Mississippi Valley in particular, as we'll be under the influence of that warm, moist air mass. So the storm predictions that are already highlighting our area with the risk of severe storms this far out. And that's usually not a good sign. We'll continue to fine-tune that forecast for you, but it could be a significant severe threat. So we'll be watching for that. 53 for tonight, not as windy. We've got a pretty quiet night otherwise. Mild as Demopolis gets down to 57 only, 58 in Butler. The wind gusts, as you can see, not as strong, under 20 miles per hour. 80 for tomorrow, very warm throughout the region. We've got widespread sunshine with upper 70s and lower 80s anticipated. Here's our extended forecast. So turning stormier here, again, rivaling records as we go forward. And then their extended forecast does show a bit of some cooling happening this weekend. It looks like a dry weekend, but highs will be in the 60s. Despite that, we'll still be running a bit above the average. We'll keep you updated right here.